sweet. I got the notification that you were live.
Yeah, there it is. So we're actually live again.
Yep.
So hopefully people will start tuning in now because it's a little awkward just talking to ourselves, shouting out into the ether.
The hordes arrive.
All right. Well, welcome back to another Last Call podcast. My name is Mikey T. I'm joined as always, now and forever through the internet by T Money.
Live from Northeast Ohio, where it is rapidly growing colder. It was 36 degrees this morning. Fuck this state already.
Live from Northeast Ohio is like the saddest statement I've ever heard you say.
Where I am gradually rebuilding my glorious studio built on top of moving boxes.
I like that you propped up the Master Chief head
I did.
On top of boxes so it can be in frame.
4 moving boxes, a Lego box, and then the box that it came in.
I lost Yoshi. Let's gotta go back up. We gotta start decorating. I like that we finally had a setup and then you had to go and move away.
We totally fucked it all up. Yeah, like we moved that studio around like 3 weeks before I left, which may have been a silly move, but that's okay.
Yeah, eventually we'll use it for something.
Have you ever bought like a special edition game or anything like that to like get the trinket that it came with?
I have not. I'm not against the idea, but there hasn't been anything that I've dropped that money for.
So that one, so the Master Chief helmet was a side that came with Halo 3 when it came out back in 2007, which was bad enough. But the worst part of that is that it came out while I was actually on my honeymoon. I'd gotten married that week. It came out, I think, that Thursday while I was in Hawaii. But I wanted to make sure that nobody bought my Master Chief helmet because I didn't know they'd be available for sale for the decade following. So I got my buddy Adam. I was like, Adam, you have to go pick this up. So he was super pissed because he ended up going to the mall, and now he looks like the fucking nerd carrying out that giant box out of the mall filled with fake Master Chief helmet.
It was a great moment in his life, I'm sure.
Yeah, he was not happy. So I bring that up for 2 reasons. I bring that up, one, because that's one of my favorite stories, is sending Adam to the mall to pick up my stupid fucking Master Chief helmet. The other one is because there's a story that came out today about a special edition bundle of the new Gran Turismo Sport came out for PS4 not too long ago. In Taiwan, they have what is called the Gran Turismo Sport Super Bundle. The Super Bundle comes with the following.
Very creative.
Yeah. It comes with the following things: a copy of Gran Turismo Sport, a PS4 Pro, which, you know, so now it's a system bundled with it, PlayStation VR, 12 months of PlayStation Plus. Don't hold your erection. I'm not there yet. It comes with a 55-inch Bravia 4K HDR OLED TV, a Thrustmaster TGT wheel, so like a feedback racing wheel, an Apiga AP1 racing seat, in which you can now mount the wheel, and now you've got VR, and now you've got the wheel, and the game and the Pro. So I mean, now you've got everything you could possibly need to play Gran Turismo Sport to its maximum. But it comes with one more thing, and that is when you've done honing your racing skills. This bundle also actually comes with a 2018 Mazda MX-5.
What? And the MX-5, that's a Miata, right?
Yeah. It's the new version of the Miata. Yeah, exactly. So grand total on that bundle comes to an approximately $46,000 US.
So that tops your like 150 or whatever you paid for your legendary bundle.
Yeah, by just a hair. Yeah. $46,000 gaming bundle.
Why the fuck would anyone do that? It's not even like, I don't know. I've never been a huge fan of the Gran Turismo games once better stuff came out.
Sure.
But I certainly wouldn't buy one to get a car. Is the car like customized, or is it like they just get?
I don't think so. No, it's just no, it's a base model. It's not even like the sport version. Like it's a base model. Retail is $30,705. The crazy thing is that they did the math on this. Like they put it all together, and if you bought all of that stuff brand new retail, it'd only be $38,000. So they're not really sure where the other like $8,000 is going.
That's what I was wondering, does it have like a custom paint job or
like a wrap on it or something? No, I don't think. No, it comes in Soul Red. So I don't know why. And it's a $5,000 TV. I mean, I guess if you didn't have a TV or a PlayStation or Gran Turismo, like I guess I get everything right up until the car, and then you kind of go off the rails.
Yeah, it just seems like such a shit combination of things, like an oddly specific group of things.
yeah. Who is that for? I don't know who that guy is.
It's like, I really want to get Gran Turismo, but I don't have a car to go pick it up at the store and
or a PlayStation or television,
a TV to play it on.
Or okay, I know who this is for. Who's the guy that wrote Gangnam Style? Who's that?
Oh, Psy or whatever.
Psy. This is for Psy, right? Like a weird Taiwanese pop stars or something.
Oh, that's right. You said, where is it? It's in Taiwan. That's also oddly specific.
So actual price is 1.4 million Taiwanese dollars.
So $45.
I love like wildly like off like foreign currencies like that, where like you go to Italy and it's like, I would like a coffee, please, and they're like, that will be 400 million lira.
I don't even know how you keep track of it. And is that like inflation fucking shit up, or has their currency always been like that? That's what I wonder.
I think it's a combination. So like the yen is really strong. It's just the math on it doesn't line up with the dollar particularly well. Like it just has way more yen to a normal amount, but I mean, it's not like their currency is weak. Italy, on the other hand, I guess they like, my dad tells a story if he was there back in, would have been the 80s, I guess. And their currency, they were having a really hard time economically, and their currency had become so devalued that their penny, or whatever their equivalent to the penny was so worthless that they were using them for buttons on shirts, because it was just cheaper to use a penny than to make a button. But anyway, so that can be your next gaming purchase. Are you playing anything right now? I know you're playing the new not Need for Speed,
Road Rash.
Road Rash. I knew you were getting getting a little play time out of that. It was what, $15?
I think so. Yeah.
Worth your $15?
For me, I like stuff that has easy progression like that, and it's just fun to play.
Fond memories.
Yeah, it might just be 100% be nostalgia, but
pure nostalgia. Yeah.
Because I mean, it looks and plays a lot like a game from 10 years ago, but it's like a good game from 10 years ago. So
right.
There's that, I guess.
I don't know. I fired up. So I finally got my desktop here working again today, and I fired it up and I saw Overwatch sitting on my desktop, and I was like, "Ooh, I haven't played Overwatch in like a year now." I think, like, I think we were playing it a lot, maybe last October, November, like when we were first getting our version of the show fired up. Yeah. So I was kind of curious. I was tempted to play that, but like I've been putting some hours into Destiny 2, which has been a lot of fun. I haven't put this many hours into a game in a long time, so I've been chipping away at that, and it's an interesting play for me. I don't play a lot of that kind of like constant progression kind of stuff, but I'm having a good enough time with it. The mechanics on it are really good. I'm enjoying it.
I didn't give Destiny 2 another shot just because I thought Destiny 1 was somewhat of a letdown. Mm-hmm. It just wasn't what I expected. It was essentially Halo with grinding. So, which isn't it's a bad game. I
think that's still what it is. Yeah, I think that's still what it is. But there's so much to do is really interesting to me. Like, I'm following the story. There's also the multiplayer, and I'm running in between missions, and then like these kind of public events happen, where there's this big thing that's about to happen, and you and whoever else is in the area kind of descend upon this thing and take it down. I've been having fun doing those.
I liked that in the first one, but then each map had one of those for the most part, or one good one. The rest was like just more of the regular enemies, and it got old fast. I saw a great meme though where it was it said live picture of somebody playing Destiny 2, and it's a guy standing with a game controller, and the cord is leaning into a pile of trash bags.
Jesus.
So that's my Destiny 2.
Yeah, I don't know why I decided to give Destiny 2 a shot over. Like, I still haven't played some of the more recent Halos. Like, GTA still sits out there and calls my name every once in a while. But I don't know. I heard a little bit about Destiny 2. I was like, I'm gonna give it a try, and like I'm having a good time with it. We'll see how many hours I put into it. I'm not sure I'm gonna get that many hours into it without that many people that I know also playing it.
That's the problem I have, is timing and everything for that shit. But I know I am considering getting that the South Park game.
Yeah, I hear that's good.
The Fractured But Whole.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic. And I heard the first one's good, and I saw at least one thing where if you buy it, you get the original, or Stick of Truth, or whatever it is. You get that one for free if you get this. So I'm gonna look into that.
Somebody said earlier, I was reading a thread.
Time to crack the Natty Daddy.
Yeah. How many of those do you have left?
I have no idea. See, this is what pain looks like. I don't know. Is that readable on your screen?
Yeah, totally. No, that's super
backwards
cool.
on mine.
Oh no, I can read that clear as day. I was reading something earlier, and they were talking about South Park and how everybody thought that the most recent season was going to end with them announcing that this was going to be the last season of South Park because they ran out of stuff to satirize. Like,
they should keep it going, because I mean, Simpsons did it. Just keep it running. I can't believe that show's fucking still going.
I don't know anymore who the audience for that is, but I don't know who the audience is for a lot of stuff. Like anything that's on like ABC, CBS,
They're
NBC.
Putting out like 35 more cop shows. That's all any network puts out. Cop shows, war shows.
I guess I know who the audience is for those. Like, that's, old people and people from the Midwest, but who's still watching The Simpsons? Everybody I know is like, I can't fucking believe that show's still on. Is it for 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds? Like,
it's gone full circle, and now
it's back to them again. Like, it followed us until we were in our late 20s, and now it's gone back to them. I have no idea. I haven't watched an episode of The Simpsons in half a decade. I have no idea.
Last time I watched it, it wasn't pretty, so I don't see a reason to start up again.
No, but you know what I did see? Something that's a show that's had a little bit of a renaissance is Saturday Night Live. Man, I still don't know if I could sit through a whole hour and a half, but like occasionally they just kill it. They did a sketch where that one woman, damn, what's her name?
The only funny one.
The only funny one played it as Kellyanne Conway in the sewer. Holy shit, that chick is talented.
It sounds amazing.
Oh my god, she's so fucking good. It is just gold.
I knew it was her because she really is the only one that's still doing stuff. It's like every good sketch has her in it.
Yeah, what is her name? Her name is Kate McKinnon. Yeah, absolutely. Incredibly talented. I mean, maybe a little bit of a miss with Ghostbusters, but I don't know that I blame her for that.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much you can do. I still haven't seen that, and I probably won't, but...
No, I don't know. It's just not worth your time. I guess if you were spending a lot of time binging Netflix shows, I guess it'd be worth it, but you've only got so much time. It's seeing a shitty remake of Ghostbusters isn't worth it. So let's talk about an event that I'm sorry that I missed, but I know that you were a big part of. Your sister got married over the weekend. How did that go? Did you have to be removed?
No, I made it through without killing anyone or
Oh,
anything.
good for you.
Yeah, it went well. Um, yeah, I ended up doing the officiating, and that went after a
You
few drinks.
officiated the wedding?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's hilarious. How did that come about?
So I had asked her. So they have it all set up. So all the groomsmen, it's like this group of all their guy friends that have known each other forever, and it's always that group. So I was I asked if I was going to be part of the wedding, and then my sister came back and was like, what about officiating?" I was like, I have no idea how to do that, but yeah, why not? So it was
So
fun.
you
I
get
got
like
to.
ordained on like a website?
Well, no, since they technically got married already,
Mm,
so I didn't have to be anything. So
that's awesome.
I basically just kind of went up and went through the motions and cracked a few jokes along the way. So
Did you have to read a prayer?
no,
Oh, okay.
there was nothing
Not that kind of
religious.
stuff.
It was just like the usual, your stereotypical wedding that you think of, and I ran through those and then made a few jokes making fun of her husband. That's really all I did. So it went well, and I'm actually surprised because there were a lot of people there that had way more alcohol way too early, and I'm surprised half of them even made it up there. So
Yeah, I believe that. They kind of put off that vibe. I believe that was a concern.
I mean, they did lose one bridesmaid, but I'm more so surprised that the groomsmen made it up there.
They
I
lost a
mean,
bridesmaid, like she wasn't up there.
yeah,
Wow.
just like I'm not feeling well. I'm not going to do it, and we're
Did,
like,
did
you
she
can
like
go fuck
return to the
yourself.
did she return to the wedding at some point, or did she just like bail?
She just bailed.
That's amazing.
I was like, that you're a piece of shit.
There were like a million, right? Like there was like a million bridesmaids and groomsmen.
It wasn't the craziest I've seen. I think they had like what 7 on either side or something, 6 or
That's not too bad. It's a lot, but that's not that. Yeah, that's not
yeah. I've
completely
heard of people
insane.
doing like 15 of.
Yeah. I know that's. I don't like that many people.
That's what I said. I was like, I'm lucky I can find like 4,
Right.
but it went well. It was a good little party, and then we got to give the groom a bunch of shit because he's a penny pincher. So like as everyone walked away from the ceremony, like our group all walked away, the guests had to pick up their chairs off of the lawn and walk them over to where the food and everything was to sit at their tables. And we're just all laughing like, really, Brian? What the fuck? Couldn't
Could
chill out.
afford another set of chairs.
Oh, it was bad, but it was. I mean, it was a good party, and nobody died. At least by the time that we left.
Do you dance at all at weddings? I mean, I know you dance a little bit at your own wedding, but you don't strike me as a dancer.
Oh hell no! I do
Yeah.
when it's like all the couples come out and they do that thing. I'll come out for that.
The like
That's
slow dance, like
yeah.
all the couples kind of thing, but no actual like fast dancing or anything like that. You're
No.
just out on that.
That's why Dixon counts as the dance husband because whenever we're out at a bar or an event, like if say even I believe a good chunk of my own wedding, I sent Christine out there with Dixon. It's like, all right, go get your dance husband because I'm not going out on a dance.
Oh my God, you're a much better person than I am. I am just like I could not. I dislike dancing from the core of my being, but like my wife likes it so much that I'm just like I just gotta fucking do it. Like so, I just go out there. I don't care how embarrassing it is or how ridiculous I look. Like I gotta do it because like I can't imagine being like go out there with your dance husband. Like I'd just be sitting at the table, just being like, well, I guess she's gonna divorce me in like what 2-3 weeks from now. Like it's basically fucking over now. I can't do that.
Yeah, you should try it. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I'll call Dixon up, see if he's available.
Yeah, can fly him out to where is it? South,
Northeast
North,
Ohio.
whatever. Northeast Ohio, the excitement mecca of America.
Butthole of America. Yeah, no. They call it the Rust Belt, which always makes me feel pretty great about where I live.
It does sound terrible.
Yeah, it does.
Much like this beer. It's just as bad as I remembered.
Yeah, I don't know why you're doing that to you. I can see the pain in your soul when you drink it. It's actually pain in your face. I can see
it's
your
just
soul.
it's malt liquor.
No.
It's definitely malt liquor.
Yeah. Which is fucking gross.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't know why I'm doing that.
Have you been to a wedding where something really awful happened, like during the ceremony or anything like that? Yours, there's a lot of turbulence leading up, but the actual ceremony and wedding and everything went off pretty flawlessly.
Yeah. The one of my wife's friends at their wedding, one of the groomsmen was out the night before, and about halfway through the wedding, he just disappeared. And he like ran off to throw up or whatever.
Like midway through the actual ceremony?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
All of a sudden, I'll give him credit. He was like a fucking ninja because all of a sudden you're like, fuck happened to him? Like I was like, I'm sitting here watching everything go on, and then all of a sudden he's not there anymore. So I guess that's a skill. But the crazy thing was,
he threw down one of those like smoke bombs from Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, Ninja
vanish. Yeah.
He that the night before had just told us a story how he felt so bad because he did that at a previous wedding. Like earlier in the year, had done the exact same thing, and then gets up there and fucking bolts in the middle of the wedding to go throw up.
Oh, so you're just like a super piece of shit. Like that is like.
I think that's impressive. I mean, how I'm not saying everybody has to be just a monster and have a liver of steel, but it really pisses me off when people really, really can't handle their alcohol. I understand everybody gets taken out every once in a while. Like you just have way too much, but people, especially like from what I understand, this guy drank all the time. So people that drink all the time and still can't handle their alcohol, I don't understand it. The whole concept doesn't make any sense to me.
No, yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, it bothers me just from a timing perspective. Like at a wedding, like, okay, you could show up at the wedding, like, okay, you're a groomsman, like you have a couple of drinks early and then one right before, that's one right before the ceremony. Like, you're 2-3 drinks deep, you're loosened up a little bit, you're ready to go. Ceremony finishes up. Now we're into dinner, another drink, during cocktail hour, another drink. As soon as like cake is done, like, fucking weapons free, man. It's only like 8:30 or 9 o'clock at that point. Like you've got plenty of time to get blackout drunk. Like, you don't need to do it at 5 p.m. That's the problem. Like you've got all night. Just keep your shit together until like the cake is served, and then guzzle the bottle of Fireball. I don't give a shit.
I know I've heard stories of where people would have their bachelor party like the night before.
Oh yeah, no, Jesus!
Oh, what a terrible idea! Why would anybody do that? What
fucking idea was that? I don't know.
Because the story I heard was the guy or the groom got so fucked up that he threw up and burst blood vessels in his eyes. So all his wedding pictures had to be like edited because he had like half his eye was blood fucking red.
Jesus, no. The bachelor party should be weeks or months ahead of time.
You need a sufficient amount of time to recover from that shit.
Because I mean, bloodshot eyes are like, that's one thing. You could have, black eyes, broken bones. Like I've been a part of so many things that could end up so wrong. Like, I don't know, strip clubs and alcohol are like the least dumb things that happen at bachelor parties. Like there's wrestling. We drove we drove like a fucking golf cart around at high speed in the middle of the night in the dark, hanging onto the side of it. Like, What the fuck? We were in our 30s. Like, we weren't 22. That shit's not cute anymore.
That was the best because it was like, I think everybody was 30 or close to it at least.
Yeah, give or take, yeah.
And yeah, we're all hanging off of it like that beginning scene in the Jackass movie, or like
right, yeah.
or some, I don't know, weekend sport version of Mad Max.
Yeah.
That was bad. We're just doing laps.
Yeah, but you don't want to be the guy who has to explain that to like the wives. Like, so Tristan's in the hospital with lacerations and a concussion because he was hanging off the side of a golf cart and we went around the corner too fast and it fucking fell over onto him. Like,
as one does.
Yeah, What were you doing in a golf cart? Laps? Of what? The campground? Why? See how fast it would go? Oh.
That was the best part. We got it just for recreational use because our like campsite was maybe 50 yards away from where you rent the golf carts. Like, you almost had to walk farther to get the golf cart than it would be just to walk to the camp spot. So
yeah, there was nowhere there's nowhere that we needed to go. You didn't need to drive to the bathrooms or something. It was just like, yeah. Didn't we get two? No, we just had one.
No, we just did the one.
You got two and raced them.
Oh, who's next? Who's next on the list? We gotta make sure we've been talking about going back and doing that shit.
Devin for number 2? Is that?
Oh, Jesus, that's awful.
I'm sorry, that's inappropriate.
We've been making some bad jokes.
Can we tag him in this one just so he hears it, like time code it? Like,
no. But we should get a group together and do that again because that shit was awesome.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Except
for the part where I brought all the stuff for car bombs, but we didn't really have them cold, so we're just doing car bombs out of plastic cups at a picnic table at a campsite.
Yeah, that was fucking gross.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
It didn't bother me that much, but I think it almost killed everybody else because nobody enjoys car bombs like I did. So
yeah, but no,
I put up with a bad car bomb. Everyone else is like, I don't like car bombs, and this is the worst car bomb.
I remember that was one of those nights that could have ended really badly because, like, I remember ending the night like very, very drunk. It was very late and like sitting out by the fire, and it was one of those things where like I stood up and I'm like stumbling around, like I could have fallen into the fire and like nobody would have known. Like, you would have just found my charred, drunk corpse the next morning.
You're just laying in it. Ow. Jesus Christ. Well, a lot of crazy shit going on, both just in the world in general. What do we got? We got the
Harvey Weinstein removed from the head of his own film company and expelled from the Motion Picture Association,
which I didn't know was a thing it was like a membership or something. I thought it was like a job or something like that.
No, yeah, it's like a membership, and it can be you could be expelled from it. He apparently is one of only 2 people to have ever been expelled from this association. The other one is a guy who is sharing his Oscar screeners with other people.
Oh, which is, I guess, a huge part of
punishable
what they
by
do.
Death. I guess, yeah, exactly.
You gotta be a real piece of shit to get fired from your own company. That takes a lot of fucking up.
You know what the problem is? The problem is, I don't think he was fired because he did it. He was fired because it became like a public.
Yeah,
outcry,
that's what it really seems.
Right?
It's not so much that, people that he was doing this shit and he's sexually harassing and abusing all these women in Hollywood. It's the fact that the public finally heard about it. It had nothing to do with it actually being done. More and more people seem to be coming out and saying that, either they experienced it or they knew somebody that knew it went on or whatever. And it's, I don't know.
I mean, this was like an open secret in Hollywood. Like this, everybody knew that this was how this guy operated. I don't know the general public did, but everybody in Hollywood did. It was so the problem is that this was allowed to go on for so long and nobody said. I mean, there were people who said things like, who's that kid from the was he Goonie?
Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman, famously was a guy. Yeah. Guy who's famously talked about the not just the sexual harassment, which Harvey was guilty of, but the pedophilia that goes on in Hollywood, which is another one of these kind of open secrets that they're still not addressing and probably won't until some prominent figure goes down for it, right? I mean, it's just kind of the way it's allowed to operate, which is the disgusting part.
Why does it seem that there are so many pedophiles that make it into high-level positions? There's, in the Catholic Church or all these, high-level congressmen and everything. Why? How does this happen?
I think it's visibility, right? So, like, I feel like pedophiles are kind of everywhere.
It's a horrifying thought.
Oh, it's the fucking grossest, scariest shit ever. But like, I feel like they're everywhere, but the people at the top have easy access, if that makes sense. And that's where we see them, right? Like, we don't hear about it when, Billy Bob down the block gets arrested, but we'll hear about it when it's a congressman.
Oh no, they took away my ice cream truck.
Yeah. Did you hear about the just happened this afternoon? He was the leader of a neo-Nazi organization. Quit the organization, came out as gay, and opened up about his Jewish family heritage.
Damn.
Yeah, exactly.
That motherfucker was in denial for a long time.
Yeah. Self-hating from lots of different angles.
That's dedication to your hatred. Holy shit.
Can you imagine that? Like, can you imagine spending all day, every day being like, God damn, we got to get those fucking gays out of this country, and like just secretly in the inside just being like, man, I need some cock. Like, I hate myself so much.
There is a large portion of those people that do that all the time.
Yeah.
Because it's always the closeted people that are sitting there pretending to be something they're not, that come out and be the really horrible fucks.
Yeah. I just...
Okay. Oh, that's one thing. So Corey Feldman came out and said about all the pedophilia and all that, and I think other James Vanderbeek and then now Terry Crews said that something just recently, a high level Hollywood person came and grabbed his junk. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, it's gotta be everywhere. Because if people were walking up to Terry fucking Crews, I mean, that's a big motherfucker.
He's a big motherfucker, and he's a very famous guy at perhaps the peak of his fame right now. Household name, not A-lister, but a big name. So here's the question, and this is what Barbara Walters was talking about on that Feldman interview that's been making the rounds, and everybody's giving her a bunch of shit for saying that by speaking out against them that he's hurting the industry, and that's not what she was saying. Here's where I agree with her. So if this is such a big problem and everybody wants to talk about it and everybody wants to bring it to a stop, why is Terry Crews come out and say, hey, a guy who I want to keep anonymous grabbed my cock? Yeah. Why isn't it George, the senior executive for Paramount, grabbed my dick the other day?
Yeah, there was somebody,
and how come he gets a pass?
It does make you wonder, why are they leaving it anonymous? It's like, oh, we care about this issue, but not enough to actually risk my career.
I guess I kind of worry. Like, Terry Crews is a fucking is a grown man. He is he could take care of himself. Like, yeah, it's unfortunate that it happened to him, and it sucks, and it shouldn't happen to anyone. But if he's going to give that guy a pass, who's next? some 14-year-old or 16-year-old, or a guy in his early 20s who doesn't have an established career, who's just trying to make it. Like, I don't know, same thing with the girls, right? Like, I mean, how come everybody wants to say, oh yeah, it happens to me all the time, but they don't want to put any names to it? Like, that's what's fucked up. I don't, the problem's not fixed. Like, this hasn't fixed anything. It's just a bunch of people saying, like, yeah, me too. Even online, this big thing, hashtag me too, hashtag me too. Yeah, that's awful. Fucking put them on blast. Stop letting this shit go unsaid.
Yeah, I would agree, because it's, I mean, it ends up being the equivalent of thoughts and prayers. You know, everybody has thoughts and prayers for, you know, every tragedy that comes out, but nobody wants to actually do anything to fix the problem. And I think that's kind of what's going on here. It's like people are saying me too, and in some cases, yeah, it does take a lot of courage to come out and say that stuff, but just saying it isn't enough. Like, we have to work towards finding what is allowing these people to do these things and stop them from doing it. And I don't necessarily know, especially in Hollywood, I don't know shit about Hollywood, but you know, how does that work?
I don't know, and I get it. And the typical response that you get to when you say something like I was saying is, well, now you're victim shaming. Like, now you want to make them feel bad for not coming out and saying who it was. And I get that, and that's the last thing I want to do is blame the victim. But when a guy like Terry Crews can't come out and say who it is out in public, you know, there's a big fucking problem. Because if we're not going to believe him, which is the insinuation, we're certainly not going to believe the 19-year-old blonde chick who went in for an audition to be on Grey's Anatomy this season. You know what I mean? Like, you know, nobody's going to believe her and nobody's going to give a shit, which is the really sad reality. But I don't know.
I mean, if Terry Crews is out here getting diddled, what hope do the rest of us have? Because I mean, it's all downhill from here. Like,
I mean, you grab Terry Crews' dick. That's a two-hand operation, right? Like, that's
maybe he's not naming names.
Can't just give it a little squeeze.
That's multiple people that were involved.
Yeah, it had to be a team effort to grab his dick.
Sorry, Terry, not to make light of your situation. But.
Is that like the game you play with a baseball bat to see who bats first, where you walk your hands up and then whoever gets to the top gets the bat first?
Oh, they would probably be catching, I would say.
That's great. It's a great and horrible image. So let's shift this conversation a little bit. So a couple of weeks back, before we'd come back from our extended vacation, Hugh Hefner died. Everybody's like, oh, you know, amen to Hef.
There's no way he didn't do that all the time.
He was a predator, right? Like,
essentially,
he was a predator in a big way.
But the people, that was, I would say, the biggest example of victim blaming ever. Because he was practically open about it. So, yeah, I have all these beautiful women. They stay at my house and they sleep in my bed. And everybody's like, well, they're a bunch of whores. They're not like, holy shit, this creepy old man is a fucking predator. They'd blame the fucking girls for doing it. And it's like, so everyone was okay with that. They're you know, cheering on his life and everything he did, which I don't understand that. I mean, I don't give a shit about Hugh Hefner. I didn't understand why anybody gave a shit that he died. Like, if your life was that changed by Playboy, you need to reevaluate your life.
So my life wasn't changed by Playboy, but credit where credit is due, and I hate to give credit to a guy in the same conversation in which we're talking about what an incredible predator he was. You know, he did kind of help to change the sexual landscape in the country, right? Like, kind of the modern day father of pornography, right? I mean, which, you know, I enjoy from time to time.
Didn't they change Playboy? Like, it's not nude anymore, or not? Or something. Yeah,
I don't think it is nude anymore. I think it's it's no longer a nude magazine, because I think they
So it really is just about the articles now.
Yeah, I think it really is about the articles. I think for a long time, Playboy did have, quality journalism going on there, which is a fucking weird thing to say. Another publication that has great articles, Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone employs one of the greatest economic reporters of the modern era, which is fucking crazy. Anyway, I'm sidetracked there. Um, but yeah, I think they wanted to compete with like Maxim and stuff like that because you can pick up a Maxim at a dentist office or in an airport and not look like a weirdo, as opposed to like you don't want to be the guy at the airport who picks up the magazine with a black bag, right? Like I
I
always
mean,
wondered who that was. Who are those people? The guy who's picking up like, you know, tight cunt magazine at BWI. Who is that guy?
let me get the magazines behind that little black wall.
And they're filthy ones too. Like it's not just like Playboy and Penthouse. It's the really terrible stuff. Like who is the person that buys that at the airport?
Who's fiending that bad for their porn that they have to get it at the airport? It's like,
Yeah, for the plane, presumably.
Yeah, like you're going somewhere. Do you anticipate having to deal with this issue while in mid-flight? Because that's essentially what you're setting up for here.
Okay, so you're thinking like it's like in the airport bathroom, or is it just like under a blanket, sort of like I'm just imagining what happens if like I'm traveling on business, like I look over and the guy beside me has got like
He's like,
full on pornography.
I'm taking myself to the mouth.
Yeah. Can you go to the Mile High Club solo? Is that a thing that you can do?
Damn it if they aren't trying.
You can. I probably don't want to tell anybody about it, but it's probably that's doable.
I'm sure Harvey Weinstein has been whatever the hell his name is.
So, let's stay in the same vein. I have a letter here I want to read. I want to try a segment that I used to do on my old show that I enjoy. We're calling the segment "Advice for People Who Didn't Ask Us for It." So this is a young man who writes in and he says, "I'm a 22-year-old student at college, but I'm also a virgin. So about a week ago, I decided just to lose my virginity to a prostitute just to get it over with."
Okay.
Great start. 22 years old, you fucking go for it. So I go on Backpage and I pick this one girl who looks nice, at least in my opinion. I call her and let her know that I'm interested in her services. She tells me to meet me at this place and just to bring the money. When I showed up at the place and meet her, there are some guys on the couch just talking. I start to get a bad feeling about the situation, but I ignore it and talk to her. She asks if I have the money, which I say that I do. When I give it to her, suddenly she and the guys on the couch go silent, and I realize at this moment that I'm fucked. The guys on the couch reveal that they are undercover cops, and this was a sting operation. They handcuff me and take me into the next room. When I'm put in the next room, another police officer comes in and explains the situation to me. Fortunately for me, this would not go on my criminal record. However, there will be at least a $500 charge for an ordinance violation. Also, my car got towed, and I will have to pay for that as well, which is an extra $300. Which leads me to my parents. I don't have $1,000 to pay for this stuff or someone to take me to get my car. I have a job, but I don't make enough to pay for this and my rent. So I'll have to tell my parents the truth about this, but how do I go about doing that?
You just have to kill yourself. What the
fuck? That's the only plausible solution.
That's got to be a made up story.
Just hang yourself in your closet and just, make it look like you David Carradine yourself and, call it a day.
Yeah, because that's a better way to go.
Yeah, because that's better. Yeah.
God, what? And the sad thing is, after all that, he's still a virgin. It's like he didn't even accomplish his goal.
Oh fuck! Yeah, that's like some American Pie type shit, right? Like that's how American Pie 5 opens. With Jim,
with this guy's life,
browsing Backpage. See, this doesn't seem. It's very sad. This doesn't seem that implausible to me.
I guess it isn't.
If I had still been a virgin by the time I was 22, I'm not saying I would have done this, but it's not outside the realm of possibility.
But presumably, he's in college or something. Like,
yeah, but he might be like, he might be gross or fat or,
I don't know. I think
have some deformation. I don't fucking know. Or just is cripplingly awkward.
I think I would have a harder time going through the process of getting a hooker than it would be to like awkwardly hit on girls until I lost my virginity.
That's that's not a bad point. But still, I mean, there could just be something. And I mean, so at 22, this is gonna make me sad when I figure this out. He was born in 1995. Fuck.
So sad. The farther we get into the 90s, if I'm carding people, it just makes me more upset.
So I mean, at 22, like he was born in the 90s. He grew up with the internet. He grew up with internet pornography. Like, Backpage may just not be that strange to him.
What's the rush? What's it? Just take your time, dude. Like,
yeah, but you don't remember being 22? Like, 22, like, you're kind of itching to fuck anything that doesn't even need a pulse. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but I can't.
Warm, wet, and a little squishy. Like, you're fucking like good to go, right? I mean,
I barely understand people wanting to go to strip clubs, so I certainly don't understand people wanting to pay for sex.
That's interesting. So that impulse doesn't make so the strip club thing I get, right? Because like you're just looking, you can't touch, right, in any meaningful way. But paying for sex doesn't make sense to you either.
Well, no, especially since there's such a steep penalty for it. Like there's nothing wrong with going to a strip club other than being a little weird for certain people. But the prostitution thing, I mean, getting a hooker, that's illegal. So you're risking like you're risking everything for nothing. Like,
apparently it's like a bullshit crime wherever he's at. $500 ordinance, like no criminal record. Like, I must be Nevada or something like that. I don't know where the fuck he is.
Did he ever see a squad car? Because like I'm starting to wonder.
they just
random people $500.
Okay, so what about if you're like
we need 500 or we're taking you to jail.
Cash. Yeah. We'll take you to the ATM. What about like you go to like
robbery,
Amsterdam or something like that? Like, what if you go somewhere where it's like it's totally legal? Like I've seen specials on Amsterdam. Like, they have red light districts. All the guys are tested before the whole thing goes down. Like, the girls are like looked out for. Like, it's it's a pretty above board practice. Like, does it make sense then?
Man, I guess then it becomes just not for me. I guess because I don't know. That was the thing with strip clubs I never understood, because it's like girls will give that to you for free. Why would I go?
Well, girls will give that to you for free, right? But I mean, presumably if somebody's going to a prostitute, it's because they have challenges with that.
I guess. All right. I
like how your mind is like, being not good looking. Like, what the fuck? Like, what would that be like? I can't even, like, it's like some kind of parallel universe you're asking me to consider.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I might as well imagine being a slice of pizza. Like, what the fuck?
I don't understand. What is this?
What do you even mean by that?
I don't get it. I've never understood strip clubs, and I definitely don't understand taking the risk with prostitutes or something like that. But because I'm not gonna throw names out there, but I know people that can get women that still will pay for sex sometimes.
Yeah. No,
it is not.
That was for the record. That was totally made up. It is not him.
Well, how do we end up picking on Devin?
I don't know.
God. But no, like, so I a friend of mine has no real problem getting girls, and still sometimes will just pay for sex. And I'm thinking either he's wasting a ton of money or he's having affordable hookers, and that just sounds terrible. Like, do you get a Groupon? Like, what is?
But it's the money. It's the money thing that bothers you, right?
That's a good chunk of it. Yeah. The idea of paying for it just seems
Because
odd.
I mean, disposable income is disposable income, right? Like, I mean, what's the difference between spending $60 on a video game or a hand job? I mean, $60 for a hand job is crazy, but I mean, you get what I'm saying.
Whatever the going rate is.
Yeah, I have no fucking idea what the rate is. I mean, I guess it probably varies place to place. What do you think the cheapest and most expensive hand jobs in the world are?
I mean, I guess go out and check what it is in Ohio.
Yeah, just shout out the window.
And then we'll go from there. I don't know.
It's like $1, right?
How much is Harvey Weinstein's company worth? About that.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, $100 million hand job. Fuck.
Yeah, take that, you sack of shit. See, there's some justice in the world.
Oh, we're coming up on the top of the hour. Do we want to do some Would You Rather? We want to hit something else? There is a giant robot fight streaming on Twitch tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Ooh, it's streaming on Twitch?
Yeah, streaming on Twitch in 7 minutes.
Well, fuck, what are we doing here? Let's go watch
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how good it's going to be. I don't know, like, I expect it's going to be bad, but I feel like it might be worth watching. I'm
thinking like most of the time people can't even make it through like an E3 demonstration with everything working. So I can't imagine giant robots are going to go too well.
I could be wrong. I'm imagining no pilots. I'm imagining they'll be like kind of not autonomous, but no pilots. I don't know. Oh shit! Look who it is. I have an intruder. Come here. Come here.
Oh, is this the new pup?
I have an intruder. Ow. This is Jack.
Jack looks like
he looks like a huge pug.
Yeah, I was like, why is this giant pug?
Yeah, he weighs 16 pounds now. He'll weigh 120, 130 when he's fully grown.
It's a big ass pug.
But I can still, yeah, he's a big ass pug. What's up, Jack? Give me a kiss. Thank you. Thank you. You're the best. Say hello.
Our new mascot.
He makes no noise unless the cat's involved. Unless the cat's here. All right. Get out of here. Go to bed. Good night.
It's like, I'm going to go chew up your shoes.
He's probably going to chew on the power supply for the computer.
All of a sudden you disappear.
Yeah, that is a distinct possibility. Hey,
like, I might want to keep an eye on that.
Go get that shoe. I just hit the cat in the face with a toddler shoe.
You hit the cat?
Yeah.
Was the cat doing that too?
Like hard. Well, she was like, I was trying to get Jack out the door, and he was chewing on one of my son's old shoes, and I picked it up. I was like, "Go get the shoe!" And I threw it out the door, and the cat appeared there, and it hit her in the face hard. Is she dead? Okay, that's good. She's not dead.
I wish we had video feed of that.
Yeah, I do.
Just you accidentally pegging your cat with a toddler shoe.
I just rolled it across the floor and it just pegged her right square in the face. Jesus Christ. Okay, I don't have a dead cat.
It's like, story of my life.
Where were we? Giant robot fights. Yeah, I'm thinking no pilots, probably no projectiles, right? Like they don't have like machine guns or anything like that on it.
Where are they having it?
I think they're doing it on like an aircraft carrier or something like that. I don't remember.
It's crazy to think that this is about to happen, and we still have we can't get universal health care or world hunger or anything like that. We're like, hold on, us rich people are going to make some giant robots fight each other.
Oh, so it's not a live event. The duel will finally be streamed on Twitch. It won't be a live event. In a press release, Megabot said that the duel consisted of multiple rounds of fighting and that in order to give teams time to repair the bots, the rounds were spread out over several days. This means the fight could not be live streamed like a traditional sport. The duel is held in an abandoned steel mill in Japan with no spectators beyond the two sets of engineers.
That sounds pretty fucking awesome.
Commentary was provided by Mike Goldberg of MMA.
Really?
And a robotics expert. The duel was fought on a knockout system with no point scoring involved. Victory is attained by either knocking over or disabling your opponent, or if they surrender. With the weight, power, size, and weapons of the bots left to each individual team, the weapons were chosen not to cut through metal, but instead to damage it. So no saws? What the fuck?
Well, you know, those, like, if you do it on the smaller scale, you look at that, battle bots or whatever. It's never the one that has like a saw or like sometimes those hammer ones win, but it's always like one that's just spinning with a weight. So it's like getting multiple sledgehammer hits. I'm wondering if somebody just did they go and watch a bunch of episodes of BattleBots and then just say whatever one wins, let's make a big version of that.
No, I mean these things, they look like at least the American one. Yeah, they both look like something out of
like humanoid. So they look like people or whatever. So
a medium. So okay, so the American one has tank treads and a big rocket launcher looking thing, something that looks like a flamethrower. It's got a cockpit on it. I don't know if they're going to put somebody in it. It's a serious looking like piece of machinery.
There's no way they put anybody in those things.
The Japanese one does not look like anybody's in it. It looks like it has 4 wheels on the bottom, like in like a quadrant kind of setup. But they both look super rad. They look like something out of Mech Warrior.
Nice.
Or what was the other? Not Robot Jocks. The good one from We Were Good.
They should have. Japan should have made it look like the Nintendo Rob robot. That'd have been great.
Yeah, no, it's funny. The Japanese one looks very Japanese, and the American one looks very American. But I think they're just going to punch each other until one of them doesn't work anymore. Like nobody has a chainsaw.
If I tune into this thing, it's just
a fun start.
What the hell is Rock'em Sock'em Robots? If it just ends up being like that, I'm really fucking irritated.
Yeah, this is more likely to be like Rock'em Sock'em Robots with 2 mechanical creations squaring off and exchanging blows until one is incapacitated. So it sounds like that's what we're gonna see here.
Well, maybe next time when we get farther into the future.
There you go. Do you want to sign off and go watch it, or should we do some? Let's do the
Would You Rather. Ooh, this is off to a good start. All right, so would you rather put an alien object in your mouth, good start, that expands until you hear your jaw break?
Jesus Christ.
Rupture each eardrum with a Q-tip. Q-tip. I feel like that's...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to make that choice, and it would be hard to do, but over the alternative, yeah, it's Q-tips. It's got to be.
Because think of how much pain you'd have to go through before your jaw would actually break. And they make the emphasis of until you hear it. So, like, that has to be significant.
Yeah, I mean, you're to separate your whole fucking jaw from your skull. Like, I don't know, though, if you jam Q-tips through your eardrums like that, you're deaf then.
No, I think you can repair
Can you fix that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
All right, if that's fixable, then yeah, I'm definitely going Q-tips. But if I'm deaf, then I got to go alien object, as horrible as that sounds.
Yeah, I was going to say, so what is this alien object that you've put in your mouth that will now expand until it breaks your jaw?
Oh, is it like an alien dick? And it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger?
You're taking Space Terry Cruise right in your mouth until it breaks your jaw.
That'd be good.
All right.
Space Terry Cruise.
All right. Would you rather be on vacation with your 60-year-old parents and have your mom insist on wearing a thong bikini, or have your dad insist on wearing a tiny Euro-style bikini bathing suit? Those are equally horrifying.
No, I'll have my dad wear the European. That's easy.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, if he wants to, it's weird, but I don't know. I guess I just like that's less weird. I don't know why that's less weird to me, but I'm like, fucking you do you, man. Like I don't care. It's weird. It's a bad idea. I'm not going to tell you should do it, but it's really what we want to do. Like, I don't know. That's not going to affect me as much as opposed to my mom. I don't know why. Like, that'd be.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move along. That question scarred me enough already.
Seared in there.
God. All right. Would you rather have to eat the inside of a full vacuum cleaner bag, or a pound of
worse?
Yeah, or a pound of toenail clippings?
Holy Christ. Okay, so toenail clippings are super light.
Yeah.
I feel like a pound of toenail clippings is a shit ton. I feel like that might be like half a garbage bag full.
Yeah, that's like a comically large bag of toenail clippings.
Yeah, I mean, we're not even talking like a gallon. Like, I don't even think a gallon Ziploc would get there. Like, I think you're legit talking about like 5 gallons of toenails.
Ugh. And what do you chew toenails?
Yeah, what do I get, like a year?
Like, ugh.
Are you going to look up a pound of toenails?
It was like, how much does a pound of toenails?
Yeah, it's inside of a vacuum cleaner bag, right? Like,
there's
also,
probably
I feel like
toenail clippings in there.
I feel like a pound of toenail clippings would like damage me irreparably.
Like, how much could really be inside? I mean, it's just like dust and shit and hair and
dust, hair, dead skin, fecal matter.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be pleasant, but it would certainly be.
I just lost my microphone.
Shit, it's all floppy.
Yeah, it just like went loose. Poor Terry. Oh well. It just like fell apart. I'm literally missing something. I don't know what happened.
It's like screwed too far. Like, now you're doomed. Now you have to just like David Lee Roth it.
Yep.
Like tie a bandana to it.
Yeah, gotta go full like Steven Tyler.
So the toenail clippings wouldn't taste as bad. I think that's the big. I could get toenail clippings down. Are they mine? Or are they just like a group? That might be weirder.
Yeah. I'm going to say the vacuum cleaner because I'm assuming that's less of whatever it is. I feel like once you're like 20 mouthfuls in of eating something disgusting, it's all the same. It's just amount of volume at that point.
How many chicken nuggets do you think you could eat in an hour?
Chicken nuggets?
Yeah, like from McDonald's.
A disturbingly large amount of chicken nuggets.
What's the number?
I don't know. Every time I get chicken nuggets, I get like 20 of them.
Right.
So if that's just for the hell of it,
it's north of 100, right? Like it's like
probably
it's approaching 2, maybe $1.50.
Let's say $1.50. That seems
in an hour.
In an hour. That seems believable, but not that many toenail clippings. I'll say that.
We should do that. We should get like 2 other people for the show, and like I'll just do it with the other 2 people where you just hammer chicken nuggets into your mouth for an hour.
I remember that video
back with the Jafar sand.
Oh, just to time it. Mm-hmm. Just like sadly, like a broken man. I'm just in the corner of the picture. But do you remember that the pizza roll challenge?
No.
It was the guy just sitting there, and he's like, "I'm gonna eat 100 pizza rolls," and then it's like 20 minutes of this guy just like, and that was like early viral video.
I don't, but it sounds amazing and depressing at the same time.
Because it wasn't just him eating; it was like the heavy breathing that went along with it. So
I'm gonna look that up.
It was terrifying. All right. Would you rather Be the dumbest person in high school or the ugliest?
Dumbest, definitely.
I'd rather be the ugliest.
Really? I guess high school doesn't matter.
And also, like, there's a lot more to do to fix ugly. If you're the dumbest person in high school, I mean, there are a lot of dumb people in our high school, and we had a fairly smart high school. There were a lot of dumb people there.
You mean I have Down syndrome?
Oh no,
I have Down syndrome.
no.
Okay.
Does that make you both?
Ugliest then. Oh, Jesus. Christ. I can't be on the show with you anymore. You can't call people with Down syndrome ugly. Holy fuck, dude.
Hey.
You have the blackest heart.
We already knew that.
You're like a Marvel villain. What the fuck? Thanos wouldn't say that shit.
He's like, guys, tone it back.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm just trying to destroy the universe.
Jesus.
Okay, this sounds like it's going a good way. Would you rather wake up in the morning after a drunken night and inexplicably find blood all over yourself and all over your bed, or find your .38 pistol, usually stored in the closet, sitting next to you on the nightstand with 2 bullets missing? What do you think?
I don't know. My head was spinning with scenarios. I guess the first thing I think is I don't know that the blood in the bed and on me came from a person who was bleeding from like a bullet or stab wound. Like, you know, is it just like a really rough, sexy time night? Like,
I don't know what your sex is like. Holy shit.
I'm just saying.
Was Terry Crews involved?
No, it's the gun with bullets, right?
That's what I think.
Because you could just be like, I was probably just fucking shooting beer cans in my backyard, which is profoundly dumb, but
and the thing is,
doesn't mean I shot a person.
Yeah, if you did anything bad with the .38, then at least you know it wasn't there, or probably not. If you're in a pile of blood, it's pretty clearly something bad happened, and it happened right there. You were involved.
And
there
either
are a lot
way,
of scenarios that can come out of the second one that aren't bad.
Either way, you're really concerned that somebody's going to come looking for you at some point, like the cops or something.
Right.
So, yeah.
But at least you don't have to clean up a room full of blood.
That's true. No cleanup on the .38. You just fucking go throw that shit in the bay, because nothing good is coming out of it. Or Lake Erie if you're living in the Rust Belt like I am, and you don't have a bay anymore.
Nobody cares out there anyway.
Yeah, it's basically toxic waste.
Probably
dissolve the gun.
Well, that's about it for that. Would you rather?
Look at you hitting the camera like a boss.
Yeah, it's a lot easier when it's like 2 feet away.
Yeah, exactly. I got to figure out how to move my camera further away from me, but we'll see.
I got to figure out how to fix this fucking microphone stand. I don't even know what the fuck. How'd I do that?
I don't know. I don't see the shaft anymore.
That's what she said.
Yep.
But on that note, oh, hey, there we go. I figured out what's wrong with it.
Screwed too tight.
Yeah. So that's what happened. But all right. Thank you to everybody for coming and checking out our shit show of a live broadcast again. We will eventually figure out how to get this chat working so people can join in and actually contribute to the conversation.
Soon.
It is sad seeing people like pop in and out, and I'm like, I wonder what they had to say.
Come talk to us.
Let us know what to say. But anyway, thanks for Tristan, as always, joining in, and we'll see you all next time on the next last call.
See you.
Bye.